You know, when you think of Buckeye royalty, a guy that certainly comes to top of mind, this gentleman right here, the one and only Ted Ginn. And, you know, Ted, you think about your days here at Ohio State as a receiver, and man, this university's kind of become receiver U, but it goes back to you. And I think about Joey Galloway and now where we're at. But now you're coming back to Columbus as the head coach of the Columbus Aviators. Has it sunk in, and how excited are you about this opportunity?
Well, it definitely has sunk in, going through a draft, being able to create my team. But it's been a blessing, it's been an opportunity to not only for the players, but my coaching staff. So, being able to come back to, Ohio, the Buckeye State, create another lane of football that's being needed around here, and let's see what we can do.
We know what you were like as a player. I mean, you were fun to watch, man. What are you going to be like as a coach?
Well, I played for so many years, and kind of being a top guy, you kind of become a coach on the field, So I was always a top guy or the top person on the field that, I tried to always get the other guys to understand what the coach was saying, and being in here I see it as no different. Being able to get the coaches to understand what you have in your room as far as players, and being able to have players understand what the coach is talking about. So it's a hand-in-hand type situation to be able to create the passion that these kids is having, and this is really just reshaping who they are. They done had opportunities in so many different ways. Some of them didn't touch the league, some of them haven't touched the league. But just being able to, give them the truth of where you need to go, how you need to go, and what it's going to take for you to go there.
You look at your style of play when you played, and you just made it look easy. Will you be a player's coach? I mean, you knew what you liked. I mean, you played for Tress, and, you played in the league. What kind of coach will you be? How demanding?
Well, definitely. I'm a player's coach and a coach's coach, and when I say that is if I don't believe in what my kids are seeing, quarterback, running back, receiver-wise, even DB, linebackers, different things like that, you have to understand because they're actually out there doing it. And if they can't come back and report to you what you know that you're seeing, but now they're saying it, then now we can work better. But when you're out there and you're telling a coach, this is open, and then that coach just ignore you, that hurts you, I think, farther down the line as you go into your season. So being able to build trust with your players is big, because in big-time situations, you want that player to make the right call for you, and you want to be able to stand on it with him and have the right support behind him. And, as far as coaching, being able to understand the kids is always the blessing of coaching. If I don't understand the kid, and that's not always X's and O's, that's understanding the kid as far as how's your day going, how's your wife or your kids, or, you're dealing with guys that has real life issues, and you just can't say it's about football. It's about everything that you bring to the table.
Well, you still look like you could play.
For sure.
I don't know what water you're drinking, but I need some of that because it's a fountain of youth. But you look like you'll relate with the kids because, they know who Ted Ginn Jr. is.
For sure, and then being able to go out and run with them, jump with them, play with them, being an example where I could actually do it.
Would you go do it? Would you be a player coach if they let you?
I wouldn't be a player's coach. I wouldn't dare get out there on the field.
You're not going to do it.
As far as in practice, being able to be that example in certain situations and kind of do it at a high level, I think will help these kids out a lot.
You went through your first draft. You have your team together. Do you like this team? And obviously the proof will be in the pudding when you open the season here in late March.
I mean, I love this team. We went in and we did the best that we can do with the rules and understanding the whole 9 yards of, who to pick, how we gonna pick. It wasn't a free open draft like you see for the NFL where, you could just randomly pick anybody at any given time. So I like the uniqueness that they did with the draft, and it helped me out as a first coach a lot. and helped a lot of first coaches out that I had on my squad. But we're going to go out. I think I put 8 great coaches together with great history from age groups, you know, and we're going to be surprised on what we come out with.
Got Todd Haley as your offensive coordinator. Here's a guy that's been, pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere. You know, like I said before, you know, he did coach in every league that you can think of when it come up to football. You know, from the Steelers to a Canadian team to an overseas team to now, you know, he's already coached in this league already before. So it was a blessing for me to be able to get that type of history, to be able to come over and actually see me as a head coach, not see me as Ted Ginn, the player, or Ted Ginn that did 14 years. Like, no, he's respecting me as a head coach, and I respect that from him because he's been a head coach in a lot of different ways. You get what I'm saying? And with his expertise, it should make my job be a little bit more easier to be able to tap into my players a little bit more.
You are a coach's son. Your dad, everything he's done up there with that program, absolutely amazing.
For sure.
You are also tied to Coach Tressel, the lieutenant governor, and Coach Hazel. Talk about that trifecta of knowledge and how much those 3 guys are helping you.
I think they're more excited for me being a head coach than me. You know, when I say that is, Pops is amazed and overwhelmed that, you know, I have this opportunity to, you know, not only carry my legacy but carry his legacy as well. You know, Tress, you know, I was doing the fitness challenge with him through the state of Ohio. We was on our 2nd phase of that, and you know, he's in great shape, and love that I have this opportunity because it's still a showcase of who he is within me, you know. And Coach Hazel, I mean, he's in heaven. You got his real son is a coach at Toledo, and then now his other son, which is me, is being an Aviators coach in Columbus. And you know, for him to be able to pick up the phone and not only Kyle calling, you know, Teddy Ginn about, you know, the passion of being who they all are, you know, great young men. I mean, great providers, coaches, you know, really put it in to the kids first and then themselves, you know, and the passion that, you know, all they wives kind of talk the same, you know, my mom, you know, Coach Tress's wife, and now my wife, you know, she's involved. So it's just a great situation to have those dictionaries around. You don't really have the Webster around with you all the time like that, and just to be able to pick up the phone and treat them like Siri is just the best thing ever. You
know, you think about the success that former players have had in the coaching ranks.
Yeah.
I mean, Vrabes is going to be coaching the Super Bowl. You think about Luke Fickell. You think about guys that were at Ohio State. Where do you hope this leads for you? I mean, did you ever think you'd get into the coaching profession following in Dad's footsteps?
I thought I always knew that I would get into coaching. I just never thought I'd jump off being a head coach. That was the first thing Tress said. Oh, I know you coach, but being head coach, you know, is amazing. Just really taking this and just seeing how far it can go and understanding what it can lead me to, you know. Like you said, I've been in a GM type role with my youth program where we play football, we run track, you know, we play basketball, and I was able to manage some of these kids to the Sincere Jones or the Arvell Reeses that you're seeing right now, to the Bryce West, you know, and different guys like that. Just being able to engineer things. So it's just like anything. It's a lot of stepping stones in this game, you know, from, you know, being an O coordinator to being a head coach to being a president to being a GM. So, you know, I'm just going to take it year by year, you know. This year I'm enjoying being a head coach and being able to provide jobs and opportunities not only for kids and friends, you know. So just take it one step at a time and just see what doors open up.
How excited are you about this opportunity? You know this is a football crazy state. You know the way they support football in this city. What kind of team are we going to have, Ted? And do you're going to win a championship?
Well, you know, I can't say right now that I've never been that type of person that be cocky, you know. So I never, put words in my mouth that I can't dish out.
But
so,
it's not bragging if you can do it.
So it's not bragging. So you're looking at a team that's going to come in. We're going to play with poise and patience. You know, we're going to attack you on the defensive side. We're going to try to put up as much points as we can on the offensive side. You know, but we're going to do it with passion and love. You know, and in everything that you do, you just want to leave your name on it. You know, and with the whole UFL makeup of how they do things, I think we got some good hands around us. The organization has provided us with everything and more, you know. So I think it's just time for us just to gel. We got a good 4 weeks to gel and camp, and just get not only the X and O's down, but get the personal side down. I think that's real big when you building is, I had a thing where with the kids, I just try to separate the parent from the kid, and then this deal right here is just how do we separate the real from the fake, and once we get to that, I think we strike and you'll see the greatness that we have by the guys that's around in the room as far as coaches, you know what I'm saying? But if we got a lot of guys that's coming in here faking, then we won't never be able to get to the real.
What's your message to the fans? Why should they come watch a Ted Ginn Jr. football team? What are they going to see?
Well, first off, it's $65 to come to all the games. So I think that's a blessing, to be able to show up and bring as many people as you want. But it's $65 per person to come to each individual home games. But it's going to be a lot of love, a lot of passion, a lot of community activist type situations that's going to be going on. A lot of, opportunities for the communities to be able to grow. I think that's the biggest thing that the players play for the community, but the community come out and get the resources that the players have.
You're really looking forward to this. I can tell.
For sure.
What's the thing you're looking for the most? First win?
I mean, always. You always want your first win, but I'm just looking at how we operate. I want operations to be great. I don't care if we lose by 40, as long as we lose with class and dignity and respect, and then we can put our pants back on and do it again. And that's all it's about. You can't win them all, but we can't get into a turmoil or into a tornado that we can't get ourselves out of. It's going to be a couple of them. We're going to be on a roller coaster. We're going to have ups and downs. But doing it the right way is what I'm about.
What do you think about the venue, historic Crew Stadium? That's a neat place.
Well, I played in there before, from a high school side. I think we did a couple things at Ohio State in there, through our time. I done came back and watched different guys play all-star games in there. So we actually adopted the Crew Stadium from my homeboys at home because we called ourselves the Crew. So every time we came down, it was like, man, Crew Stadium is ours. So for us to really go in there now at 40 and have the passion that we didn't have for it, I want to blow it up. I want to make sure that everybody get everything they're supposed to get out of it. A win, a resource, kids coming in and playing at halftime. I just want to do it the whole 9 yards and make Columbus, the whole state, what we bring in football. We just got a lot of passion and a lot of good people around here.
I think it's fair to say if Ted Ginn Jr. is going to be involved, you're going to do it right.
For sure.
And you want to win.
And I want to win, for sure.
How about the colors?
I love the colors.
Blue, red, and white, right? Yeah. Red, white, and blue, right?
Yeah. So it's not the Michigan blue. So I
you wouldn't wear Michigan blue,
I probably would have had to go somewhere else, especially, us not getting back on a good foot with them. But the colors is everything. It gives us a uniqueness around here. We love our scarlet and gray. We love our brown and orange. That come from two different ways, Cincinnati and the Browns. And then now we can sprinkle in, this touch of blue that I think everybody like. Not only me, but I think the whole area. I think the whole Columbus like that little touch of blue. And and just see what we do with it, and hope that we can make it like the sky, nice and bright and beautiful.
For the fans, you're going to entertain them on game day.
For sure. I mean, we've been entertaining our whole life, so we're going to come out and be blessed. And then I got Buckeyes with me. I got Curtis Terry was a Buckeye. Larry Grant was a Buckeye, so.
Got G. Scott.
G. Scott. But I'm saying as far as coaches,
yeah,
and then, my players, we got all hosts there. I try to get as many Buckeyes as I could, But outside of that, I just think we have great players that have passion, that want to play this game, and they're going to come in, and I think they're going to be willing to play good underneath me.
You think about your journey, starting up in Cleveland, coming down here with Tress, becoming a household name, and you see what the Buckeyes have become. You're embracing that too while you're down here because that's where you came from. But
always.
This is receiver U now, isn't it?
For sure. I mean, like you said, just coming up from Glenville, where Pops is now winning state titles, where when I was in there, we was only going to playoff games and winning city championships. So just to be able to say we got state titles is a blessing. I didn't put in on it as far as on the field, but cheering and making it what I wanted to be, I have. So seeing how that's growing, and then coming down to the Ohio State and seeing how not only we receiver U, we DBU, we linebacker U, we D tackle U, we all that, we just a historical team that, whenever we want to stand out, we can, and then, being able to, make a way with the Aviators and being able to make them stand out and being the first person to do it, and I kind of see myself not the first person to do it at the Ohio State, but for that turnaround, my era was kind of in that, and I'm not taking nothing away from that championship team of 2002, which really started it, you know what I'm saying? But for us to really go from 2002 to like 06, we really put that little whip appeal back into the Buckeyes to be able to sustain where we at right now.
Last thing, what's the Aviators going to be? We talk about receiver U, quarterback U. What is the Aviators going to be?
We're going to be fresh, fly, fitted, all of the above.
Oh, my goodness. What's that again?
Fresh, fly, fitted, all of the above.
I guess I'm too old to understand that, but it sounds good.
Sounds great, don't it?
Yeah, it does sound good.
Yeah, so
you're just going to win.
We're just going to win. We're going to play hard, and bring passion and, do it the right way. Discipline is everything. Respect is everything. And as long as you get hit in the mouth or you hit somebody in the mouth, as long as you can stand up and move on the next day, that's all it's about.